Feels like Saturday. You play like a 4 o'clock game or this early, it's different. It doesn't feel like a Thursday afternoon or whatever it is now. So, like first off, I want to thank our crowd and our students that showed up for us again. And like they've done a good job all year of really spurring us on and pushing us and helping us and being there for us. And you know, we've played well at home. We haven't played so well at home at times either, but our fans that have showed up for us and the students that have showed up every single time, like I'm very appreciative of them. I thought our guys, I talked to them before the game about our resiliency as a team. That's, you know, if you look back at this team or at the end of this season, like what is our calling card? I think it's our resiliency. And whether that's in game in terms of, you know, coming back from deficits or doing different things like that, but also from game to game. And this was a pretty tough stretch for us playing Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday. Not much preparation time, not playing a lot of guys. And our guys have to play a lot of minutes and do some different things. And the way that they responded and how they played today, just proud of those guys. And you know, we've gotten our last 2 home games. Now we got a tough road game against Maryland, then we get to come home and play 2 more. And we need to play with that same resiliency, that same fight, and we need everybody, you know, all of Nittany Nation to come and help us so we can close it out the right way at home next week.
Can you speak to the versatility that Jalen has in terms of being able to do all those things in isolation, which you see a lot at the next level, but maybe not so much at this level, and how key was that to establishing kind of the tone you wanted to set today?
Yeah, I thought offensively he was really good in terms of getting to the spots where he wanted to get. But he also, like, we worked on some things yesterday, and like it was like, you know, we couldn't do very much in between days, but we worked on some things offensively, and you know, I didn't call it. Like, I let him call it. Like, this is what you see, this is what you're looking for. You call it every single time, and I think, you know, he was really comfortable in what we were doing, what he was looking for, and we attacked it the right way. And he got to his spots. He got to his spots and scored. He got to his spots and he hit the big roll, and he got to his spots and he hit, you know, the guard on the lift. So he kind of did everything, but he was really good, and he'd been struggling a little bit. So for him to break out and have this game was key for us.
Micah, Miles talked a little bit about you guys playing your brand of basketball. At this point in the season, how would you define Penn State basketball, and what does that brand really look like to you?
If you listen to John, it's gritty, not pretty. Like how we play, like 67-46, like, I don't know, it was a 4 o'clock game. I hope there were a lot of people watching, and I hope there were a lot of people that turned it off. I was like, man, I can't watch this. But that's the kind of style we want to play. That's who we are, right? Like, we know who we are. We know how we defend, and we're going to make you earn every single thing. And you know, our group, like, you know, after the Michigan State win, I gave him the Nick Saban rat poison line. It's like you're walking around class, walking around campus, walking around your apartment, dorm, wherever you are, everybody's telling you how great you are. But just last Saturday, we went to Minnesota and played our 4th worst defensive game of the season. And hats off to them. They played great offensively. But we were terrible defensively. And I told them, I said, think about how you felt when you left UMass. Think about how you felt when you left Indiana, how you felt when you left Michigan State, right? That game at Minnesota defensively was right there with those. We just scored the ball. So it didn't feel as bad because the game was close. But it was the same defensive effort. So, like, I think they took exception to it. And they came back and we played one of our best defensive games of the year.
Micah, you mentioned the condensed stretch of games that you had here. How important was it to get Jalen off the court for a little bit? Because I think he averaged over 40 minutes a game because of the overtime games over the last 4 or 5 games.
Yeah, I got them 30 seconds of rest last game against Michigan State. I think he felt that. That's probably why he played great. I didn't, I went through that and didn't even realize Seth played 40 minutes. Miles got in foul trouble a little bit against Michigan State, so Seth played 40 minutes. So we tried to get Jalen a little bit of a break earlier in the first half, tried to get it around the timeout where he got some extra rest as well. But we were playing well in that stretch, so he got to stay out longer. But any time that he still played 31 minutes 15 seconds, but it's not 40. So he'll be dancing around all night, probably feeling great, ready to play again. It was really important. I thought get him a little bit of break, get John a little bit of a break. I thought, Giovanni's energy, Jelani, when he got in, it allowed John to sit a little bit more. Caleb coming in and doing some good things allowed Seth to stay out more. Sam, Dalian, we kind of utilized everybody and allowed guys to get a little bit more rest that we need.
Mike, you talked about how you had one of your worst defensive performances on Saturday and then one of your best today. What changed from that 5-day span that you think?
Yeah, I'm going to start letting you guys come in and listen to my pregame speech sometimes, every once in a while. I told those guys, being in the NBA, right? And I was there, I was a part of, I got to get my math right again. I was part of 10 playoff series in 5 years. So I told our guys, this is similar to a playoff series, right? You play game 1 and then you play game 2 at the same place, and there's usually 1 day in between. Then there's a gap between games before game 3 and 4 because you travel and they give you more time. But between game 1 and 2, you don't have much time to tweak things. So as a coach, you spend that time preparing for a team, before you start the series. And then if you lose that first game, you think about your game plan. And I told our guys, our game plan was good. Now we need to do it harder and we need to do it better. So our game plan didn't change against these guys in the first time. We did it better, we did it harder, right? So our execution was a little bit better. There were other factors, right? These guys just came off the road, they're traveling, they just played Ohio State. There's other things to it, but I thought our effort, our activity, which wasn't there. Eric Curry shot a lot of jump shots in game 1, and nobody helped off the ball and swiped at him and stunned it or did anything. You saw the activity today from the other guys, right? We got a bunch of deflection steals. He'd catch it, guys are swiping at him. So we executed the same exact plan. We just did it harder and did it better.
Go 2 more, Ben and then Nelson.
Talking about perception and emotion and team momentum, if you look at the 3 games that got canceled, those are 3 games that you probably win, or at least you'd be favored in. And if you add those,
ECU's pretty tough. But yeah, I get you.
These are games that maybe you feel comfortable about adding to the hypothetical win column, and the perception of how the season goes changes a little bit. The emotion, the momentum. Mm-hmm. Is there any value in games that never get played that you can kind of go, we feel good about our chances and kind of add that to the emotional cachet of how you feel about how the season is going?
Yeah, we wish we had them to be able to play and look at it a little bit differently, but at the same time, I always want us to be improving at the end of the year. And it might look how it looks, how our record looks and everything else. If we're not improving, it doesn't really matter. I feel like we're improving. I feel like each and every game we're getting better and better and better, and guys are getting comfortable and we're doing the right things. So I wish we could have gotten a couple of those back, right? We tried. It didn't quite work out, to get those games back in terms of our schedule in the Big Ten, and everybody else was getting canceled at that time, so they made it hard. But I feel good about where we're at. I can tell you right now, until I look at the box score, I have no idea what our record is. I know our conference record is because I look at it and I try and figure out where we're going to be, where we need to go, what's upcoming and everything else. But our overall record I haven't taken a look at. But, I don't know. Yeah, I wish we had them, but I feel good about where we're going. Right? We're playing, we're beating teams in our league. which is really important. Like if you feel like you beat Michigan State, you beat Minnesota, like you feel good about those wins. I felt good about how we played. Like I messed us up at Michigan. We should have won that game, right? I got to be better during that stretch. Like Wisconsin, we were right there with them. So like even then when we don't play our best basketball, we're in games. So I feel good about how we're progressing as the season's gone on.
Madison.
Hi, Coach. So how, your older guys in particular, especially the seniors, how does their prior experience to Penn State kind of translate onto the course? And what is the impact that they have on the team?
Yeah, you know what? They've kind of been through a lot of things. I think, when you've played, we got a bunch of guys that played 4 years of college basketball. Whether it's guys that are seniors pluses, and this is their 5th year, or guys that are regular seniors. So you've seen a lot of things. They've seen a lot of basketball. They've been in a lot of situations. And they haven't done it here, but now they're starting to do it here in terms of seeing those different situations. So just using their experience, I know at different times, like, I can lean on them some to know that they're going to do the right things. We have great leaders. We have older guys that are mature about their approach to the game, but their approach to making themselves better as players, their approach to taking care of themselves after games. Like when you play a tough stretch like this, is a guy like going and getting treatment? Is he going and getting in the cold tub? Like, what's he doing? Or is he just going home? Like that's what young guys do. They don't feel pain at all, so they just, Dalian Johnson, although he's good, I'm just using him as an example. He could play 40 minutes and then just go home and eat Burger King and come back and practice the next day. Some of these older guys know that's probably not the best thing for them. So they spend more time. Like John lifts after games and then goes and gets treatment. And then the next day he's here in the morning and he's working on his body. I think older guys understand that. And they know that longevity is the key. Your greatest ability is availability. So we need you on the court.